here with George Mather, the CEO of Caritas Microfinance Bank, a bank that has been in operation for the last 3 years and has had an asset base of 1 billion shillings. Now we'll be here talking about the whole microfinance institution in the wake of interest rates. Thank you very much for joining us today on Bani Series. Maybe you can let us know, in 3 years you've been able to hit an asset base of 1 billion shillings. How has that come to be?
Thank you very much for having me in your show. First and foremost, I must say it is the grace of God for us to have come this far. Indeed, like you said, we opened in 2015. That's when we got our banking license from the Central Bank of Kenya. And we were the 12th microfinance bank to be regulated by CBK. So by the time we were doing 2 years, the bank had actually grown from number 12, and we were rated number 5 by CBK in terms of our performance and in terms of the market share. And so during this particular period, we also came in when it was a very challenging time. You recall that it is during this time that you have seen upheavals in the financial market, with the collapse of some of the banks, with the elections coming in between, and with the capping of the interest rates. Yet despite all that, we are still seeing growth in terms of our asset base, in terms of our client numbers, in terms of our business generally. You have really seen a great improvement. That's why first and foremost we are saying it's by the grace of God. Secondly, I think we have very good staff. And before the staff, we have a dedicated board that is committed to see the growth of the bank. Our shareholders, being the Archdiocese of Nairobi Catholic Church, have also invested heavily in the bank. By 2017, 2018, our capitalization was at 500 million Kenyan shillings. And out of that, then we've been able to generate the business that has been there. So our loan book currently stands at 650 million right now. And so combined with the capitalization, then it has boosted our asset base to over 1 billion Kenyan shillings.
Wow. All right, let's talk about the challenges affecting the banking sector right now. We've seen like 3 banks that were brought down: I&M, Chase Bank, and Dubai Bank. We also saw the interest rate cap that came in 2016. How has this affected your business? Since you actually came through during that period, how was the business done, and how have you been able to grow amidst all those hurdles?
To be honest, it has been a challenging walk, because you are starting from scratch. So you're already setting your systems in place, and in between there are these external factors that are affecting the business. But I think, like they say, a good sailor is known when the seas and the sea is rough, not when the sea is calm. So it is out of those challenges that indeed we have seen the bank rising and being able to grow and to develop to the next level. The capping of the interest rates, again, has also been a blessing in disguise, because what has happened, the big commercial banks are not now lending to SMEs. And because of the security factor, there is the IFRS 9 that has contributed to all this. So what's happening is that, again, those customers that are not being served by the bank, the big commercial banks, are now coming to microfinance institutions, and we are able to understand them. And so, again, that has also been a blessing. We have seen, again, an upsurge in the number of customers that have been able to come.
All right. Could you equate to us the surge in terms of percentage and as an example from your
For instance, I can tell you our loan book since December 2017 to date has grown by almost 80%. Yeah. We have seen our deposits grow by another 50%. And generally, the income levels have also gone up. Our income has almost doubled by now. So indeed, we've seen rapid growth in that particular period. And to be honest, that's why we are celebrating today the fact that we've received 3 awards this particular year. We've won the award for being the fastest growing microfinance bank in the country. We have won an award for being the best microfinance bank in digital inclusion to enhance customer service, and also the best microfinance bank in e-services. I guess this the world is recognizing that indeed there's something happening within the bank.
All right, when you talk about e-services, we have seen a lot of mobile lending apps coming to play in the market. How has that affected your business as a microfinance bank? And are you planning to enter into that sector going forward?
Okay, Ken, we are already in that sector. I think if you don't have mobile loans now, you should be out of banking. So we are already in that field. But if you look at the demographics of our country, for instance, Kenya is a very young country. They're saying the average age is 19 years. Yeah? So you can imagine all these 19-year-olds are all
having loans,
tech savvy. Yeah?
Okay.
And they have not grown up coming to banks and borrowing loans and all that. And in any case, they want short-term loans to do a hairdo or, to buy a mobile phone or etc. So we cannot run away from that. Number two, we are offering convenience. Customer now is demanding for convenience. Customer now is not limited to the 8 to 4 banking. He wants a bank that can offer him services, whether it's at midnight or early in the morning, he can be able to do that. So we are already in that field, and to be honest, we have seen, again, growth. Between January and now, we have disbursed over 40 million Kenya shillings in mobile loans. And I'm talking about the 2,000s, 3,000, not big money. And to the bank, it is so convenient because we don't have to deploy staff. Remember, for you to borrow, it is you initiating the whole process, end to end. Yeah. So it saves the bank a lot in terms of staffing levels. So efficiency increases. The customer receives his money anytime, anywhere. And even when he wants to pay, again, it's not limited. He can be able to pay anytime, anywhere. So it has been a good space for us.
All right. I was talking to one of the industry players, and they were saying that it will reach a point where mobile loans will hit 200,000 to 300,000. Now the mobile loans are averaging at around between 2,000 and 5,000. Do you see this going forward affecting microfinance companies?
Let me say this. I think microfinance mobile loans are serving a certain niche that was not being served there before. It was difficult for you to go and borrow 2,000 shillings from the bank, seriously, yeah? So there's a niche that it is being served by that particular, but still, we shall still need people who want to borrow the 40,000, the 100,000, the millions. Let's say that the mobile loans have come to cover a niche that was not being covered before. So I don't see any big interruption. It's just a niche that is being covered.
All right, let's go back to Caritas Microfinance. You have done tremendously in the last 3 years. What do we expect from you in terms of branches, in terms of asset base, in terms of whether you're going to become a fully fledged bank soon? Maybe you can give us what are your thoughts on that?
Well, yes, I think we have just started. And in terms of branches, although we have all these delivery channels that we use, you can't run away from the brick and mortar. So before the end of the year, we are opening one more branch in the area of Karori. We want to grow our loan book by the end of the year to at least hit to 1 billion Kenya shillings. It's a good mark to go to the next year, the next year with. And we are also expecting more customers to come as they become more aware of the branch, of the bank. Top of the mind brand recognition is another story because, again, remember we came from zero. So still many people don't know us. So top of mind brand recognition is another thing we shall be working on. So we shall be hearing more of the bank in the days to come.
All right. And the banking sector at large, how do you feel like I&M Bank is now getting acquired by KCB if everything goes according to the plan? Chase Bank has already been acquired by SBM. How has this been felt in the market?
I think, as I said, we have about 43 banks in this country. And I can tell you every bank has its own space. Yeah. So there will be dynamics everywhere, but just like water, everybody finds his own kind of space. But for us, I think we are very well positioned. Remember, we are the first bank to be owned by a church institution. So that already gives us a very huge head start in terms of our clientele, in terms of the people we can be able to reach. So we may not feel the impact as much. Again, we are still on the growth stage. I think that the big banks who are plateauing could be feeling it. But for us now, I think we can only look up.
All right. Are you planning to become a bank soon? Like a fully fledged bank instead of being a microfinance, or your focus will be on...
I may not be able to answer that now. That's up to the shareholders to make a decision.
Yeah.
For us, we are focusing on the space we are in.
All right. Thank you so much, George. Thank you for having me.
Much appreciated.
All right. Thank you.